We thought we would talk with one of the CEI men who worked with a project. And the project that this gentleman, Tommy Murphy, is working with is the B Street project. And we said earlier that it's almost through, but there's been a lot of challenges here. But what he does specifically is to look into things that may be a little questionable that need straightened out. And I like the fact that we've got someone like Tommy Murphy to cover our backs to make sure that we're safe. It's nice having you to talk with us.
Thank you.
Tell me, what do you do exactly, and what is a CEI?
My job title is project manager, and CEI is construction engineering inspector. And we inspect the project to make sure it's built by the plans and specifications, and also to manage the quality control portion of this contract as the conditions warrant.
What is meant by the construction engineering? I understand inspection, but I understand why you would be involved. Are you a contractor?
I'm not a contractor. I work for a
what are you doing with construction?
We manage the project with the plans that are drawn up, and if there are anything that we find that's a conflict, we in turn to the engineer of record to make these changes.
So you really need to have knowledge of construction.
You definitely
and
do.
Design, and you also need to have a knowledge of engineering before you can inspect.
That's correct.
And so that's what you do.
Yes.
Have you ever run into anything that was a problem?
On this project?
Any project?
Oh yes, many times.
Give us some ideas and then how you fix them up.
For instance, if we were laying our storm drainage pipe and ran into a conflict where a new water line had been installed, then we would have to make adjustments as far as adding another box, catch basin box, and proceeding from there. But the engineer of record would sign off on that.
Now, does that slow down your project a little bit?
Everything's pretty quickly resolved once it's been noted as a conflict.
Schedule is everything in this work, isn't it?
Oh, it was done in 4 phases, and it had to be scheduled with all the businesses and in mind, so as to accommodate their driveways, ingress and egress.
Is it safe to say that nobody's lost their lights, nobody's lost their gas, nobody's lost any of the utilities in this area?
We may have cut a phone line here or there, but basically everything went pretty smooth.
And I bet you get that back really fast.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So there's not been any complaint, or very few complaints, I would imagine.
People have been excellent to work with on this project.
Tommy, how long have you been doing this?
I've been working, I started working when I was 16.
Doing this kind of work?
Well, in asphalt.
That's right.
But then I progressed. That's when I was in high school, when I started working in the summer. But
how is it working outdoors all the time?
It gets pretty hot in the summer.
I bet.
This is nice today.
Now, when this project has been completed, and the public will hear from the county on that, we'll probably have a press release out and all of that when we complete the project. But when this project is completed, then what does Tommy do?
Tommy is slated for another project here in Charleston on Harborview. So that's my next project right now.
Do you think that the public is aware that there are people who are eyeing everything, keeping their eyes on what's going on as these projects get underway, as they're finished, completed, that is? Do you think they know that we're watching out for their safety and that everything is done right?
Yes, we maintain that through traffic controls, plans that are approved by the DOT, and we manage those to make sure they're placed and the traveling public can mobilize in a safe manner.
Has there always been a CEI person way back? Because you've been in this work for a long time.
I have. The CEI has not been around except for about 10 years that I've been available to it.
But that is something that's necessary these days, isn't it?
I think it's very necessary. In the other projects, there's DOT jobs, they have their own inspectors.
Oh, they have people like you.
That's correct.
Who are doing the same thing. So
Yeah.
are they going back over your work?
They are part of this project. So I have a DOT person check with me about once or twice a week that comes on site to make sure things are going as planned.
I had no earthly idea that so much goes on in preparing a project, a road project. There's so much more that we can learn, but the public must be aware that every opportunity we try to make sure that these roads are safe and that they're going to be around for a long time as well. So your money is being well spent here, we hope. I'm going to be talking with Chris Wood, and he sort of heads up a lot of this, and he's going to take us into an area where the actual work is going on. He's going to tell us what's happening in terms of inspections. We'll do that.